All right, man. Oh my God. What a Pistons collapse. What a Cavs win as we now go to game 6 in Cleveland where the Cavs can close it out. Look, let's just say it now, okay? Yes, that was a foul on Jared Allen when Asar got it loose. Yes, that happened. They don't call it, okay? And I'm sure a Cavs fan can find all types of physical Pistons defense moments where a foul wasn't called. We could do this all day. Around that, there were so many other things, okay? There was a whole Pistons collapse before that. And then we get to an overtime where the Cavs outplay them. Like, the Pistons were very in position to win this game after that Danis transition three. And then anything that could have gone wrong for them went wrong with a slow offense, Mobley helping off of Asar, or the paint just being clogged somewhere, or one of the times they are able to generate a good shot because the Cavs just keep putting a double on Cade, becomes a very wide open LeVert three that doesn't drop. And then on the other side, effectively the same thing where it's Harden, Mobley screen, and then a lot of rotations with Asar actually playing off of Mitchell to get to Mobley in the middle. And actually, this one was more contested. This was the Mitchell three when Paul Reed closed out. I believe that was still in the fourth quarter. That might have been the overtime. I mean, really, the 3 or 4 plays in a row that led to the Cavs getting back into this, besides like a Mobley three where they didn't guard him, and crazy amount of driving kicks from Strus, Mobley, and I want to say Harden that led to a Strus three where the Pistons defense was good. Like, it was Cade on a good contest on him. But it was like 3 or 4 plays in a row of like, we know the double's coming on Cade, and either he's trying to make something happen on the left side of the floor, but by the time he's got anything resembling an advantage on, let's say, Max Strus, there's barely any time left on the clock, and then it swings back to like LeVert, who's got to create something in the middle, and that's a shot clock violation. Or I'm kind of scrambling trying to think of a big thing, like the Pistons half-court offense. That was it. That can be your takeaway here. There were some just specific things that had to go horribly wrong for the Pistons that did. But if you ever needed a sign of, it doesn't matter what we try, we can have LeVert out here, we can have Paul Reed out here, we can try to put Cade wherever we want to as these doubles are coming, we can try to get him some more work off ball, because they were doing like little backdoor cuts and fake DHOs throughout the game for him. But when it came down to it, we don't have another guy to take pressure off of this defense. We don't have another guy who can just power their way into like a foul or just whatever as things are getting really bad. The hope is that Duren is that guy, but he has not been that guy. It was Paul Reed in there, not Duren down the stretch. And tell, even when Paul Reed was at the three-point line, the paint was still clogged on one of those drives. Now, of course, I'm not going to absolve Cade of any blame. I mean, the whole team is to blame for what happened here. And that one time where he got stripped by Strus in the backcourt in the overtime was very bad. Now, as I say all that, they were still in position to win this game. I mean, they've dealt with this all season, but that was just an unbelievable stretch. And then in the overtime, it was just kind of more of the same. You get a couple of Harden-made free throws. Mitchell just powering through Dennis Jenkins for an ISO score. And yeah, man, was there some big play in this stretch that I missed? I don't know. I mean, look, everything that happened in the last, 2 minutes of the fourth and then the overtime, that's the story of this whole thing. Slow offense, and one too many guys we're comfortable playing off of, and we made a few, you missed a few. I did think the overall story of the game was the Pistons, especially in the first half, were having a lot of success with making some semi-reckless defensive rotations, like Asar helping off of Mitchell after, let's say, Harden is doubled, because he knows if he gets to Mobley at the perfect time, he can just overwhelm him on the ball, whatever. They got a lot of turnovers like that, right? Or Asar stealing like a pocket pass that was meant for Jared Allen. And then in the second half, the Cavs just held onto the ball better, and they were just better positioned to counter this stuff. Like Max Strus also had a corner three where Cade was helping off of him, where they just went really fast. And I mean, it was probably like a Harden Mobley screen, as it felt like for a lot of this game towards the end there. And when you go faster, things are better, or like little Harden flare screens, or Harden throw it way up court and then get into a sprint back to the ball from Allen or Mobley, and Duren wasn't ready for it. So just little things on top of the big thing of holding onto the ball again. And even with all that said, it just looked like, as the Pistons built up that fourth quarter lead, that it was just another stretch of just the Pistons being just so physically overwhelming that was just going to be the takeaway before those last couple of minutes. I mean, right before that, you had Paul Reed blocking Harden after he switched on to him. You had Asar somehow blocking a Jared Allen floater. You had like that sequence where they almost got the steal and then it was out of bounds, and then they got the steal again, and both times it was from, I think, Danis and Tobias doubling Harden. So even then, like, they were still having success with all that. It looked like there was a moment there where the Pistons were honestly going to win this kind of going away. Like, maybe they were going to win by 10 points. Just unbelievable. And so now, I mean, we got to think about, once again, like, I mean, how many minutes did Asar Thompson play tonight? It felt like a lot. 41, okay. I mean, it's just a constant push and pull here, man. Like, the dude made so many individual defensive plays, but if you just hardwire on Asar and who's helping off of him at any given time, it just is what it is, man. I mean, we'll get to Duren in a second. Duren continues to just be not good. I mean, hell, one where Asar was out there and Paul Reed was at the three-point line, and even still, Cade was overwhelmed in the paint, and Harden had a hell of a closeout to run Paul Reed off the line. And they did try some more Asar DHOs or whatever. In the case of Duren, I mean, look, he was 25 minutes in this one. I think JB finally had his moment of like, I really don't want to pull this dude, but you just kind of have to at this point, and you worry about, are you going to like effectively lose him or whatever? I mean, you're trying to win the playoff game tonight. I mean, I'm not usually a single game plus minus dude, unless it's like super obvious. I mean, Duren minus 16, Paul Reed just a 0, and Isaiah Stewart a plus 12. That was just an unbelievable collapse. I mean, for the game overall, Cade was great. Now, he had the turnover against Strus there late, and he ended up at 6 turnovers, and just the whole offensive process of everything was slow and just very muddy towards the end there as the doubles were coming. But hey, there were a couple of missed threes there, and for the Cavs, the other big thing in this game was it felt like there was more of Evan Mobley as a ball handler in screen actions. For whatever that matters. I mean, there were so many other things in this one. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, he ended up with 21 points, but there was a decent stretch of this game where it was like, you kind of forgot he was out there. Yeah, man, I mean, there's only so many ways that I can just say the Pistons offense fell apart and a few things went really, really bad late there. And yes, once again, that call, like it was a foul on Jared Allen. It didn't get called. Strus was unbelievable, and it is now a Game 6 in Cleveland. I mean, the Cavs, they just stole all the momentum, man. Crazy.